Hi, welcome to today's video. My name is William Chenwei Yang. You can just call me William. I'm the lecturer of ETP NCCU. So over the next 5 minutes, I'd like to show you how to cite sources like an expert. I'm going to walk you through some simple tips so you can know how to do this like an expert. All right, so first, let's talk about how to use a quotation. So when you do this, we have to know that when you use a quotation, this can be divided into 3 key elements. Firstly, we have the speaker. So in example, you can see that the speaker is colored in purple. And then we need a reporting verb, which we will dive into later. Thirdly, we need the quotation. And here the quotation is colored in green. Then you may ask, so how do I try to show the audience I'm using a quotation? It's very simple. In speaking, when you need to cite a source, when you need to use a quotation, to start a quotation, you can say quote or I quote. To end a quotation, you can say end quote. So in this case, we may say Dr. Duckworth affirms, grit is the power of passion and perseverance. And to do this, before you start grit, you can say quote. When you finish the quote, you say end quote. So that will be Dr. Duckworth affirms, I quote, grit is the power of passion and perseverance, end quote. So why do we need to do so? Because we want to avoid plagiarism. You don't want to copy people's words and ideas and take them as yours. And when you do so, you can also show respect for their wisdom and knowledge. All right, so now let's talk about how to use the reporting verbs, how to choose the most accurate reporting verbs. So if you look at the slide, so we can try to classify reporting verbs, for example, in terms of stance and view of the author or the speaker. For example, we can have the reporting verbs that show positive stance. So you can say the author, the speaker, agrees, asserts, acknowledges, supports, sides with a person, or the author speaker highlights or underscores an idea. But sometimes we use the reporting verbs that show a negative stance. For example, you can argue that the speaker or the author disagrees with an idea, or they object to, or they contend, they challenge, they question, they call into doubt, they oppose, they deny, they refute, they denounce, and they condemn. For example, we can make a sentence. You may say, Russia's behavior has been condemned by the EU, or you can say EU condemns Russian invasion of Ukraine. Quote, this is absolute violation of human rights and sovereignty, end quote. And now let's also talk about some other reporting verbs. We can also classify the reporting verbs in terms of certainty. For example, we have reporting verbs that can show that the speaker or the author is very certain about the idea. So you can try, for example, confirm, assert, again, assure someone, or to avow, to endorse an idea, to endorse someone, or to reveal someone's view clearly. And still, we have the reporting verbs that can show that the author or the speaker are less certain about the idea. In this case, we can use other verbs like claim, argue, propose, assume, presume, hypothesize, postulate, or even equivocate. When we equivocate, that means we try to be unclear so we can confuse the listeners or the readers. Now let's try some little practice. So I would like you to take a look at the 2 sentences here. You may want to ask yourself which reporting verbs you will choose. So you can try to show the author or the speaker's stance or levels of certainty. So now give yourself about 20 seconds, and we're going to have a look at the answers later. So, have you found the most accurate words? Let's take a look at some suggested answers. So in this case, we can say Dalio asserts, affirms, highlights the prediction, the crash is already happening. In the second case, after the chairman, we can use maybe assumes, hypothesizes, or equivocates. Mr. Lee may be an employee of GN during the summer of 2021. How do you like the answers? So I hope that you enjoyed today's video. If you have any questions, I'll always be available. You can reach me at the Gmail. Also, you can find me on LinkedIn as I list here. I'll see you soon. Bye.